First of all, I would like to acknowledge the efforts made by this team for turning our offices into a greener place to be. I really appreciate the efforts you've made so far. Because of you, we now use energy-efficient light bulbs. We've also convinced our clients to switch over to emailed receipts. And we even ditched the Keurig in the break room for a good old-fashioned coffee pot. It's truly a wonderful thing to see, and Mother Nature thanks you for it too. So, after seeing how well we've adapted to these practices, I've decided to look into what our next step should be. Unfortunately, it might surprise you all to know that current recycling efforts do not match the success rate we would expect. These statistics can be depressing and discouraging, but the work we're doing is still very important. I, for one, would like to stop seeing pictures of animals stuck in trash, or videos of our lakes and waterways covered in waste. In fact, I bet if we walked outside right now, we would still see tons of litter on the streets in our communities. Why? Because our country produces an insane amount of waste. According to Recycle Across America's website, the U.S. generates over 500 billion pounds of waste, more than any other country. They also cite a Yale EPA study that determined we recycle less than 22% of that waste. Moreover, despite society's collective belief that recycling is the right thing to do, our recycling levels haven't improved that much over the past 20 years. So why is this happening, you might ask, and what can we do to make a bigger impact? Well, the problems that face the future of recycling are larger than what one person can handle alone, but that's not to say it's still a good place to start. I've gathered some tips from the Natural Resources Defense Council that I've used to create our game plan moving forward. From now on, our motto for fixing our waste and reduction problems will be work smarter, not harder, by learning about the recycling process, by adopting greener practices here at home, and by supporting those who believe in our initiatives. I think we'll start to see change on a bigger level. Let me give you an example. According to a 2015 article from The Guardian, recycling companies and municipalities across America are struggling to make ends meet. It turns out that in our effort to recycle more often, we've actually become more careless with what we're putting in our bins. By pitching non-recyclable waste into our bins, we're making it harder and more expensive for recycling plants to stay open. But this is something we can fix tomorrow. Try to take some time tonight to read the guidelines set by our waste companies. In doing so, we can learn what materials are okay to throw into the bins and what needs to be recycled in a different way. With less trash mixed into the bins, we will allow recycling companies to make a better quality product. And as you probably know, a better product usually means better profits. This plan will help recycling plants stay open, and it might even encourage more to open. So objective 1, let's learn about what can be recycled, instead of just throwing everything into the bin. Let's work smarter, not harder. The next objective will be a long-term lifestyle change, because in order to reduce the amount of waste we create each year, we need to stop producing it. This can mean many different things. For example, you can bring a shopping bag with you when you go out shopping. Or you can buy in bulk instead of having to buy individual units that generate more waste. Or you can commit to packing your lunch for work instead of eating out all the time. That'll eliminate a lot of takeout waste. Yes, all these things seem simple, but it takes dedication to make an impact over the long term. So objective 2, let's reduce waste before we create it. This way we don't have to worry about the disposal process. Work smarter, not harder. The last objective tackles the bigger issue. It's how we will multiply the influence of our one office to impact our community and beyond. It's also fairly straightforward. We will use our power as consumers and citizens to create real change. This means buying from eco-friendly companies and not supporting those who hurt the environment. Which reminds me, I would like you all to continue to talking to our clients about our own green practices. Not only will this improve our image as an eco-friendly company, but it might inspire others to be green too. Also, keep an eye out for other local initiatives you can support, which includes tagging the politicians that believe in our goals on Election Day. We as an office are limited in ways where government and politicians are not. So objective 3, let's pick the winners who will fight the good green fight in the major leagues, so we don't have to work as hard. Work smarter, not harder. It all sounds pretty simple, right? I think it is. After a short while, I think these practices will also turn into old habits. By implementing our 3 objectives to be smart with our recycling methods, considering everyday eco-friendly practices, and supporting those who believe in the same goals, we won't have to work as hard to create real change. Work smarter, not harder, and we'll get there. Again, I would like to thank you all for everything you've done so far. This place really has turned out to be an awesome green, eco-friendly environment. Also, if you have any other ideas, please feel free to send me an email or stop by my office. Thanks again for your time, everyone, today. You've all done so well, and I really look forward to the work you will do in the future. Thanks again.